Let us understand the changes in files after the pages controller has been generated. In the routes.rb file, there are two routes that get added: get pages/home and get pages/about. What it really means is that when a user enters the following URL, pages/home, the request gets directed to get pages/home line in the routes.rb file. That routes.rb file is responsible for determining what happens for each of the URLs that comes from the browser. In this case, what it is basically saying is that redirect that request to the pages controller and especially to the home method. Here you have the pages controller and this is the home method. Now let's take a step back and understand the pages controller here. This is a class. It inherits from another class called application controller. Basically what this means is that pages controller has inherited some functionality from application controller. More about this when we discuss about object-oriented programming a little while later. Now we have two empty methods here, home and about. Def home is the syntax to declare a method. Normally this is an empty method and wouldn't do anything at all, but in this case, because it is Rails, it has automatically wired the empty method to the view home.html.erb. So any requests that come to this empty method home will fetch the view home.html.erb, the contents of which are this. It has a header pages-home, and this corresponding request, URL request page/pages/home, will fetch this view, and this is how it will look on your output window or on the browser. Now, all of this is basically the model view controller framework. Ruby on Rails is based on the model view controller framework, and we've looked at view and controller. And let us understand view and controller a little bit better. Now, if the user requests the following URLs /pages/home, it gets directed to the Rails router or the routes.rb file, and especially to the line get pages/home. And what this line says, what this line determines is that go to the pages controller and the home method, and that is where the request comes to. And now this empty home method is automatically wired to the home.html.erb, which gets rendered to the controller, and further the same thing gets rendered onto the browser. So the pages/home URL goes to the router with the get entry, and further to the pages controller home method, and there it renders the home.html.erb to the browser. This is how view and controller work.